Okay.
Welcome back to the week thus far, everyone. It's time to bring out our guest.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
John is really excited, right?
No,
Hey,
yeah,
John?
I'm really excited. Yeah.
That's good to hear. That's
Yeah.
You're freaking out a little, John.
I know.
All right, so our guest this evening is a very funny man. He's also a writer for This Hour Has 22 Minutes, among many other things. Give it up for Dean Jenkinson.
Yeah, give it up.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hey, there we go. All right.
Hi. Wow.
Good evening, Dean.
You look
How are ya?
great.
Thanks. I didn't even ask. This
John's
desk,
really-
by the way, this desk, if you think this desk looks nice on television, it doesn't.
It's got a lot of cup stains on the
It's
top.
more than cup stains.
Interesting fact, we actually lost the top piece. This is a two-piece desk for 1 year. And then at the beginning of this season, it was here.
It's true. Yeah.
And it's a mystery where it went.
We have no idea where it
Someone
went.
borrowed the top of the desk, and you continued for how long without a top of the desk?
1 year, yeah.
So what did you do? Did you just did you replace it with something else? Or
We
did
found
you
a
just
way to wedge a
sit
bar
and look at
table.
your lap, surrounded by 3 pieces
I
of
let my
wood?
arms hover.
Yeah.
It's a great workout, you know.
A lot of film trickery involved, I think.
Just shaking at the end of 20 minutes.
Just
Deltoids of a
cheat
god.
top. Yeah, we have no idea where. I hope we get postcards one day, though, with a bunch of pictures of the desktop.
The desktop.
A bunch of
In
people with
Tahiti by the pyramids.
went to Ibiza and just danced. You know? Anyway, enough about the desktop.
Right.
We're here to talk about you, sir.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
What would you like to?
Well, I understand you were recently in Montreal.
I went
Doing
to
some work.
Montreal in July during the Just for Laughs festival.
Right.
I was not lucky enough to perform because
Okay.
I'm not that good. But I am funny enough that I can write things down for famous people to say, and then they go be funny, and people say, "Oh my gosh, that person was extremely funny." And little did they know, they just saw that in the teleprompter like 3 hours ago during rehearsal, and said, "I don't get it, but I'm going to say it."
So, is that like famous people who would never have really done comedy before?
Sometimes it's that. Like sometimes, this is my 4th year that I've been lucky enough to be asked to go and write with a bunch of other very talented people from Toronto and LA, just people that the show producer has met along his career, and I happen to be one of them. And he said, "Dean, you show up on time and work hard and don't complain. And sometimes you're funny." But the first 3 things are much more important, right? Because there's a lot of funny people, as you know, who will sleep in, bitch,
Yeah.
drink, say, "Forget this, I'm out of here," and leave, right? I'll just go back for more abuse. Right?
And do you
There's a
still
check at the end of it?
do you still see much of that at that level of people that
Oh,
are just willing to whatever?
The more famous you get, the bigger an a-hole you become, right? That's just like Chantal. She's going to be up later, right?
Yeah.
Before she was as famous as she is, she was sweet. You'll see. You'll see what I mean.
She was
You'll
really
see what I
nice.
mean.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, but to get back to your original question, like sometimes they'll have a host who's, say, a sitcom actor, and so people go, "Oh, I see that guy on that show. Let's go see him host a gala just for laughs." But he's not a stand-up. He doesn't come with a 20 minutes of material or any material, right? So like the first year I was there, I got to write jokes for a couple of the guys from The Big Bang Theory who were hosting a show about nerds, right? So they said, "Oh, perfect," right? And then the Muppets came and hosted a gala, and I was lucky enough to be part of
That's
a
pretty
3-man
sweet.
group.
Yeah, that's super sweet.
And
Clap for the Muppets.
you don't want to meet some of the people under the puppets. That's what I found out. It just ruins the whole magic, right?
It's really that bad?
Well, no, it's not bad. It's
Well,
just,
I don't
it's
mean
just
that.
like
Right.
just like don't meet your heroes, right? So if you like grew up watching these amazing magical creatures, and then you see them put on a desk, and the guy goes and like scratches his, you're just like, "Oh, that's sad. I
It'd be
thought
my
it was
childhood
magic."
dream if all those people looked like the puppets they were acting out.
Do you still incorporate like songs into
John's
your act?
still here. I forgot
Yeah.
John was
Yeah,
here.
no, I turned my
John's like
back
a
on.
silent
Sorry.
killer, you know? He's-
Hey guys, just eavesdropping on your conversation.
John has a question. Jesus.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh man, I just did the thing to the microphone. Apparently, Was it my?
These all have wires.
was
I
it
don't know
my
when
butt
that
that did
started.
that,
but
or was
we
it
used
my-
to-
Can I
Sure
still
they
ask
did
a
that.
question?
Go ahead. We'll rewind.
No, I know that you used to incorporate music into your act a lot, and used to do like a weekly segment on CBC Radio, right?
Yes.
And that was, you had to write a lot of songs for that, right?
Yeah, but they only had to be, as you guys know, because you do a weekly show, they only have to be funny for that week, right?
That's right.
Right? You would never take last year's jokes about this week's news and drag them back out of the closet and say, remember that, folks? Like you would never like say, remember a song from 2002 that Missy Elliott did?
Oh,
right?
yeah, I
And that's just bad comedic form.
You're right. No, you're right.
know. No, that's a good point. Right, that's a
You
very
would
good
never do that.
You'd never do it. You'd never say, remember that song that you heard once and like it's kind of locked back in your head?
point. Yeah.
I've been marinating about it for a dozen years. And it occurred to me that there's a word that sounds like another word. There's probably a punchline in it. Or maybe you're just like, yeah, the two words kind of sound alike.
No one would do that.
No one would do that.
No.
Nobody at home. No
one would do
Nobody
that.
at home saw that joke. I'm referencing something that was in the audience warm-up. That
I know.
nobody at
We,
home
you
saw
know,
that.
we should really put a video of that on or something.
I think.
Get a clip. Do we have
Let's
any
do it. Can we cut to that clip right now? Can we cut to that 14 minutes of our lives?
Chad Anderson warming us up with Missy Elliott material? All right. So this hour's 22 minutes is back in action.
Yes, for their 22nd season. There's a bit of symmetry there.
Right, you said it already.
Or just overstaying its welcome. Either way, whatever you want to call it. But,
So
you know.
you'll be, I assume, getting lots of work done on that soon, or have you already started?
The first show airs tomorrow night, so I've been working for the past week, and I'm lucky enough. I was in Halifax for the my first 4 seasons working for them, and since then this will be my 4th season where they've allowed me to stay at home because I now have little children, and I said I'm not going to drag little children to Halifax and back and try to put them in schools in different places, and they said we completely understand. Would you like to email us stuff from Winnipeg? And I said that is perfect, because I can work in my pajamas and no one tells me to change.
Rather than play with the kids, please, guys, it's the 22nd season. Anyway, once again.
I wrote you guys do some very funny news jokes off the top. And,
Thank you.
I wrote a joke that I think I can tell you, because when is this going to air, by the way?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
So
Today.
I've always wondered why you call it. That's right.
Yeah. It's airing now.
The week thus far. That makes
In
sense.
your
now.
home.
Yes. So happy Wednesday. So 22 minutes will have aired by the time this airs. So
Okay.
and I don't think this joke is going to make it on the show, and you'll see why.
Sounds good.
In a moment, because it's CBC, and it's a joke about Rob Ford, and he's battling cancer, which somehow makes him no longer a target for comedy, which I don't necessarily agree with, because if you were a jerk before, I mean, he had a tumor while he was being a jerk, right? It was just an undiagnosed tumor, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that somebody spotted the tumor makes him no less of a jerk than he was before, right?
right.
But somehow we're like, oh, the poor guy who I didn't like when I didn't know he was dying, right? Now that I know he's dying, anyway. So that's the reason why CBC's not going to air this joke that makes fun of Rob Ford, because then they'll get letters saying the man has cancer, like we didn't know, right? Because he reminds us he'll do a press conference with his I can't commit to work voice, right? He'll say. Well, he doesn't do this at the press conference, right? He must. But that's the voice he uses, where you're like, boss, I can't come to work. I think I might have cancer, right? I can't run for mayor. Right?
What's the joke?
The joke is,
I'm really excited now.
it's not a throat tumor. That's why the voice just goes, oh, come on. You can talk in your regular voice. You don't need to use the, oh, everybody pity me voice. But anyway, so the joke is that tomorrow, being Tuesday. Yesterday, Rob Ford started his second round of chemo, because if there's one question Rob Ford will never say no to, it's, would you like another round?
That's really good. Yeah, I think we should get a round of applause for that.
Because round can be used in 2 different ways.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, that's
Right?
very
That's-
dad of you.
Just like Missy
Very
Elliott.
dad.
Just like,
All right,
you know
well,
what Missy kind of sounds like is the word mystery. There's probably a joke you could build around
I
that.
feel like Chad Anderson might have a good joke about that.
No, he doesn't, but we might be able to come up with one.
Dean Jenkinson, thank you very much for being here. October
I like
17th, you'll be performing at CFB Shiloh for
That's
the
right.
troops.
That's right. So if you want to come see me, join the military and get through basic training. Come on out.
Support your country.
I'll be there with Big Daddy Taz and the very funny Dan Verville.
Dean Jenkinson, big round of applause. Thank you very much for being here. We'll be right back with Chantal Mirage to come.